This new phone will divide the internet. Remember when the Pixel 6a launched last year, it had a lot of features missing for its price. No high refresh rate display, the same old IMX363 sensor as the Pixel 2, no wireless charging, no face unlock, no 4K in the front camera. But now, the Pixel 7a is here and Google has fixed it. So this is the new Pixel 7a and this fixes all of the 6a problems while bringing in some good upgrades. First of all, it now looks even more like the Pixel 7. There's the aluminum frame. The camera bar is now aluminum, just like the flagship Pixels, although it's still smaller and less bulging out. The back remains plastic like the 6a, but honestly, it's hard to differentiate between this plastic back and the glass back of the 7, especially in this white variant. In fact, a lot of people have been wanting a more compact version of the Pixel 7, well, the 7a is it. Now do note that the 7a is 0.1mm thicker than the 7a and it is heavier by around 20 grams at 193.5 grams, but it's fine. The phone still feels very handy, especially with the 6.1-inch screen, but one thing that hasn't really changed are the bezels. I mean, the bezels are symmetrical all across, but yeah, they're still thicker than your usual Android smartphone. Anyway, like the 6a, this whole design is IP67 rated, and this means you can basically submerge this up to 1 meter in water for 30 minutes. Unlike most non-flagship phones which have IP53 or IP54, which is basically splash resistance. It also has a fast USB-C 3.2 Gen 2 port, unlike other phones that still use a 2.0 port. The 7 also has stereo speakers which are pretty loud, dual SIM support with eSIM, clicky and tactile buttons, and very good haptics, which is honestly very underrated, especially in a non-flagship phone like this. Anyway, this also has an in-screen fingerprint scanner which is consistent and fast enough, but more importantly, this has face unlock support finally. I mean, it's been a basic feature on Android phones, but it was missing in the Pixel 6a, and I'm just glad that Google has brought this on the 7a, and yeah, it works like you'd expect it to. Another thing that the 6a did not have and the 7a brings is wireless charging. I mean, even in 2023, not a lot of phones bring the whole combo of IP67 rating plus wireless charging, so it's great that the Pixel 7a brings these flagship features. The 7a also fixes one of the biggest complaints around the display of the 6a. This is a 90Hz OLED. I know, still not as good as the 120Hz AMOLEDs on most Android phones, but hey, it's better than 60Hz, and I honestly did feel a difference. Scrolling and animations just feel more smoother, and other than that, this is a nice OLED panel. The colors are punchy, it's bright enough, and it has HDR support in apps like Netflix, YouTube, etc. Now, another change I did notice in the display versus 6a's OLED is that 1. The boosted option in colors is gone. 2nd, the display has a slightly warmer tone now, and it's not a big deal, but yeah, something to note. The processor has also been upgraded to Google's Tensor G2 chipset, and now there's 8GB LPDDR5 RAM compared to 6GB in the last gen, along with 128GB of UFS 3.1 storage. See, the Tensor G2 is an upgrade over the first Tensor chipset, as you can see, and it beats the likes of the 778G Plus, but it's still not the most power-packed chipset. I mean, the new 7 Plus Gen 2 on the Poco F5 easily beats this, and it's obviously no match versus 8 Plus Gen 1 on the OnePlus 11R. Let's face it, the Pixels have never been about specs or bringing in the most powerful raw performance, and if you put these numbers aside, I think this phone does well. This is a phone that feels fast and snappy. Everything I did on this phone was very responsive, and as for games, Asphalt was super smooth on this phone, no frame drops, no stutter. We also played COD at 90 FPS and the performance was really consistent. I mean, we played 3 matches back to back and there was no lag or heating. Now, Genshin Impact does not run as smoothly as say on 8 Gen 2 or 8 Plus Gen 1, but it's playable. As for the software, obviously get the latest Android 13 on the 7a, and you will get the latest Android updates on the very first day along with Pixel feature drop updates. As for updates, Google mentions 5 years of security updates on the 7a, which is good, but there's no mention of OS updates, and I'm assuming this will get 3 OS updates like the Pixel 7 and the 6a, which is good. It's fine, but yeah, it's not as good as the Samsung Galaxy A series, which is getting 4 major OS updates. In terms of the experience, there is the Pixel experience with all the cool features, be it the Material You theming, the cool Google Photos features, quick phrases that do not require "Hey Google." I can just say stop to stop an alarm or timer. I also like the voice message transcription feature in Google Messages. Then there are all the cool camera features. The very cool long exposure mode is also present here, and this wasn't present in the 6a. This works on both the rear camera and the front camera, and it actually takes some cool photos. Night sight is also better now. You can tap here and set it to max for better photos, or you can even turn it off. Now, all of these camera tricks work well because the cameras here have been upgraded big time from the Pixel 6a. So there's a new 64 megapixel primary camera with OIS, and there's a new 13 megapixel ultra wide angle camera. Now, to be honest, even with the old sensor, the Pixel 6a was the absolute best camera phone in the 30-40K price segment, and now under 30K, and this is even better. I mean, the photos from the 7a are just beautiful. They're detailed, have a natural color tone, and the dynamic range is on point. These photos look like they're taken from a flagship phone. We even compared it to the 6A to see how much of a difference this brings, and the 7A photos were more detailed. As you can see, in low light, the 7A photos have better colors and lower noise, so it is an upgrade. Even the videos look better. The video quality is top notch, focusing is fast and good, dynamic range is really good, and with OIS, stability is also very good. Honestly, I was really impressed with the videos from this phone. The front camera has also changed. There's a 13 megapixel camera now, and it does well, taking sharp selfies with a good exposure. And what's nice is that now shoots 4K 30 FPS videos. This is great. Moving to the battery, it's actually slightly reduced by like 25 mAh from the 6A. It's now a 4385 mAh battery, and there's obviously no charger. And even the fast charging isn't as fast as most Android phones out there. As for the battery life, there is a screen on time bug here. It gets stuck at a certain number, so can't tell you that. But I would rate the battery here decent. I mean, it would last you a day, but don't expect a lot more. Apart from this, the 7A has all the 5G bands you need in India, and there's also NFC and Bluetooth 5.3. Let's talk about the pricing now. So the Pixel 7A will cost you rupees 43,999, which is the exact same pricing at which the Pixel 6A launched last year. Now this pricing will divide the internet into two groups. Group 1 will think it's overpriced, not really value for money. Group 2 will think that it's a solid, good package for a Pixel phone. Now when the Pixel 6A launched last year, I was strongly in Group 1, but with the Pixel 7A, I am in Group 2. But I think the 7A brings a more premium software experience, probably the best cameras, and a lot of flagship features which you don't get in phones like the 11R. So I want to ask you guys, which group are you in? Group 1 or Group 2? Comment down below.